Hey guys, so we're going to take a look at the black-white Rebel deck, and I have to apologize, I did make a recording yesterday. Unfortunately, the audio was not recorded on, so I had to remove that, even though it did have, I feel, some pretty good games in there and some good explanations, but some of the things that I went over compared to the mono-white list that we were looking at was with the black, or I'm sorry, not the mono white, the blue-white version is, what I wanted to do was I wanted to try black to put in echoing decays. The reason I wanted to put in echoing decays is because we free up 3 slots basically. We get instant removal, and it's also good against Storm, which was some of the cards that were taken up in the blue-white version were Sunlance, and then Prismatic Strands for Storm. And Prismatic Strands actually doesn't actually, I guess, save you from a Storms player from Empty the Warrens and Goblin Bushwhacker unless they have to attack with everything, because that particular version I don't feel, even if you did get Prismatic Strands, they can just manage their attacks and their blocks to sort of outlast your Prismatic Strands. Echoing Decay thankfully gets rid of all of it, or gets rid of all of their tokens pretty much except for the Goblin Bushwhacker. And we just free up 3 more spots, and in that spot I decided to try Bone Splinter, sorry. Even though I really feel that the Rebel deck is more of a control deck. Basically, you know, you want to get a bunch of mana out there, and then you just want to search for guys turn after turn. Although Bone Splinter does allow you to turn your 1/1 guys into 3/1 guys, or your 1/2 guys into 3/2 guys. So I wanted to also try out Blight Speaker, sort of as an alternate. Not really fast, but it gives you a little bit of reach in that you can just tap it, so that way target player loses 1 life. And it's also another Rebel Searcher. And I didn't necessarily want to take out some of the other ones. What I ended up taking out were 3 Armor Scouts. We lose a little bit of the aggroness in that Armor Scout's a 2/1 for 2 mana. But I didn't want to take out the 1/1 Flyers or the 1/2 Searchers, and the reason for that is because -1/-1 or 1 damage to all creatures are still sort of a huge a card that's played quite a bit due to Teps and just some other aggro decks. It's easy 2-for-1 that a lot of control decks are packing. So I didn't want to take out things with 2 toughness or things that are not flying creatures. And so I decided to take out Armor Scouts because in essence they're just about the same thing, just a little bit different. Some of the other things are really, as far as the non-searchers go, I think this is sort of a good package. The Rift Watchers allow you to get a 2/3 flying body into play. Also they give you a 4 life, which as the more games that I've played, it's actually very relevant to gain that life, because your first couple of turns you're actually taking quite a bit of damage while you're trying to set up your Searchers and also your mana. So the Rift Watchers allow you to take that extra damage and then just sort of play out blockers, and they also get to attack if you don't happen to need to block with them. So a 2/3 body is actually pretty good for attacking. The other thing is that 2 Nightwing Gliders, which are flying protection from black, and 2 Thermal Gliders, which are flying protection from red. I feel that 2 is a good number because if there's ever a creature that is higher than, say, 2 toughness, you're going to want 2 guys to basically double block. Or, you definitely want as many bodies as possible to block against, say, black decks or red decks. And having 2 instead of, say, 1 or 3 seems to be about right, because you don't necessarily want to draw them and have to actually play them. But again, you want to be able to search out at least 2, so that way you can either start attacking with 1 and block with another, or just so that way you could say attack with your other guys and still have decent blockers, 2 extra blockers. Zealot Invec is another one. He sort of acts as your searchable removal. Again, 2 feels like the right number at this time, just because you don't necessarily want to draw one. Sometimes there are instances where you'd like 3 in play, but again, they're 1/1 bodies. I really, the only upside is for them is that they have shadow. It would be better if they did damage, like if they did damage of how much power they had, they'd be a lot better. But unfortunately, even if you put bone splinters on them, they still only do 1 damage if you want to kill off a creature. So some of the other cards I'd like to try, or that I'm trying, are Wrathy Tapper, or Trapper. I guess he could be called a Tapper since that's what he pretty much does. He's pretty much like the other Rebel, except that he costs black to activate, and he can actually tap any creature. So also him being black is kind of significant, just in that if say Infect wants to try to Apostle Blessing, they would need 2 Apostle Blessings basically to get through. Since Wrathy Tapper is black, they'd have to choose 1 for black and 1 for white. Some of the lands, since we do have more black spells, I did add in some swamps, additional swamps, and I also added in some basilicas. The reason I like the basilicas is not only does it allow you to ramp a little bit, basically it's an extra land with the 2 of them when you get both of them in play, but also produces black for any Echoing Decays that we're going to need, and also to activate Wrathy Trapper if we have to. I did take out Terramorphic Expanses, or what's the other one called? Evolving Wilds, just because we already sort of have a lot of lands that come into play tapped. Even though I could easily see taking out, maybe 2 plains and a swamp for 3 Terramorphic Expanses or Evolving Wilds. I'm also running Expedition Map in this version, so I can search out Cloud Posts or Glimmer Posts. And the test games that I ran yesterday, they were actually pretty decent, so those might become also staples of any Rebel decks that I create in the future. Some of the things about the 2-colored versions that I'm having some problems with, or that I've noticed that I'm having problems with, is getting the colored mana that I need for the for the splash color, basically. Now, in the blue-red post deck, what they actually do is they run, I can't even think of what it's called now. It's Prophetic Prism, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's a 2 casting cost artifact that draws a card, and you can tap it, and you can tap it for 1 colorless mana and generate any color mana that you'd like to. And in later versions, I think I may try that over Expedition Map. I'm not quite sure yet which one is going to be better for us. So, alright, we're going to go ahead and start some practice test games here, even though I did get a couple in the other day. Unfortunately, I didn't have any audio for those, and again, I do apologize. I will, in the future, any of the videos that I make will have audio, just because I do feel that, having the audio is one of the big reasons actually to watch the videos. Is you get to see me actually play the games real time, sort of hear my thought processes on playing the game, and I can just give live commentary as far as why I'm doing a particular thing, or why I might not like this, or why I might not like that. And there's been a couple people that have made comments as far as some of the videos that don't have any audio are not great, and I would agree. When you're just sort of watching somebody play, and they're not telling you why they're doing a particular thing, or why they might be casting a particular thing, it's definitely a lot harder to watch the video, or not as enjoyable. So against an unknown deck, I would keep this, just because we can go first turn Sergeant, second turn Sergeant, or we can go Defiant Falcon, although I kind of like to get Bone Splinters out there, and we can lay Glimmer Post also if we want to, depending upon if we draw any more land or not. So we'll see what we're up against. One of the other things that I noted about the Rebel Post decks that I'd like to try in the future is I really do plan to go through every sort of color combination, and the reason for that is really the Rebel Post decks are very largely unexplored. So he laid a plains and didn't cast anything, so really there's only 2 decks that I know of. It's either going to be Familiar Storm or white weenie that maybe has a slow draw. I'm not 100% sure. Trying to think here what I want to do, because next turn I definitely want to use the searcher. That might not be right. I'm just trying to think of, we actually might have just wanted to cast the Defiant Falcon just so we could have a 1/1 flying attacker. Because next turn we're not going to be able to equip Bone Splinters because we're going to want to be able to search. So double white, I'm guessing white weenie at this point. Okay, so there's Sultured Priest, or Sulture Priest. I'm actually kind of tempted to get in for 4. The only reason why is because I'm trying to think of what tapper we're gonna get. Actually, you know, we're gonna go get the black one. So I think we definitely want to search, but I'm gonna attack with one of them. I'm kind of hoping he lays another one now and we draw black mana. Definitely thinking about adding Terramorphic Expanses in there now. Just because if one of these planes had been Terramorphic Expanse, our hand actually would have been much better. Razor Golem is not great for us. Now I can actually want to see. The unfortunate part is I really do need to draw another land next turn. I think I'm going to get Defiant Falcon. No, I do want to get the black one. I do want to get Blight Speaker. And I'm hoping to draw land. Draw land. That is not a land. Well, if we would have got a land, we would have been able to play the Shadow guy next turn. But since we didn't, no. Guess if I was going to search, I should have searched beforehand. Royal Cathar. Yeah, it's not looking great for us here. We're going to take this. We're actually going to go to 15 because I'm going to take a bunch of damage to just to search again. I think I'm going to get Armor Scout this time, just so I can, if I don't draw another land, I want to make sure that I equip so I can get rid of Razor Golem, or at least make him use removal on an Armor Scout instead of, say, one of the tappers. Kind of like this guy, gives you a little bit of reach. Sort of like a pinger every turn. A searchable pinger. Sort of like Tim for all you old school players. Definitely not what I was looking for. But just going to equip up a sergeant here anyway. Definitely have a feeling that either Journey to Nowhere or Unmake is coming. Or Guardian of the Guild pack. Which is about as bad could be, because we're definitely not going to be able to race now. I would actually be very happy to trade guys here. Even Loyal Cathar. I don't think I have anything that can block. Yeah, I don't have anything. My only hope is to race at this point. And that's not a great proposition when your opponent's got 2 priests in play. Sort of what I wanted, but not really. I really hate to get I think we're actually going to go with the Orovitz Basilica in this case. Seems a little strange, but we get to reuse Glimmer Pulse, which an extra life is not bad. But it also turns on our Echoing Decays, and also gives us enough mana to start searching. Yep, and that was the only other thing I was afraid of. So now my problem is I sort of have to start blocking. And a million Squadron Oaks. I don't think I'm going to be able to come back from this one. Racing a 4-3 guy each turn is not going to be good for me. I actually needed I should have blocked with this guy actually. I needed the Sergeant so I could Echo Indicate and search next turn. So that was another mistake on my part. Yeah, I actually needed to kill the priests first. Yeah, that was my mistake, so I should be at 12, just a mental note. Mental note should be at 12. We'll see if it matters in the end, which it may. Because I'm sort of in a position where I just have to draw a ton of Glimmer Posts each turn. Which obviously is not where you want to be, but And I forgot to use the tapper, or the blight speaker. So I should be at 7, my opponent should be at 24. Yeah, so that's going to actually make a difference because I'm not going to be able to live unless I draw a Glimmer Post. Or, I'm not 100% sure it would have made a ton of difference anyway, but it's always good to, it's always still good to try to play as correctly as possible. Even when you're just playing in test games, because, you know, if you're, this is something that we used to go back and forth a long time ago when I used to play in PTQs, and you know, we'd be play testing and we'd sort of be sitting there, you know, at the kitchen table, putting our decks together, figuring out, you know, what we were going to do, or, you know, just play testing for the PTQ. And we'd be like, oh wait, you know, I didn't mean to do that, or oh wait, I didn't mean to do that necessarily. And you just get into bad habits, sloppy habits. So even when you're playing in test games, it's always really important to try to play correctly. And I don't think there's anything I can do. Bone Splinters is going to kill me. I can't tap them, and I don't have any non-mono colored removal. So that was kind of a bummer, but. You know, I definitely think that matchup is winnable. I definitely, you know, I'm just going to put in the Terramorphic Expanses now. Because I can, definitely seems like we have a problem as far as getting the right colored mana. But I'm going to play out these ones here. I'm not going to mulligan. And we'll see what I draw first. So we drew a Cloud Post. So that is good. So I definitely think I'm going to end up getting black mana with the Wrathy Tap, or with the Wrathy. Keep wanting to call him Wrathy Tapper, just because, well, he taps things. And you know, I'm just going to call him Wrathy Tapper from now on. So Terramorphic Expanse, Island, and Preordain. Pretty sure this is either Blue-Red Storm or Familiar Storm. I'm not really sure. I guess Blue-Red Post runs Preordain. I think. I haven't really looked at any new lists, so. Let's see. I don't think I'll die next turn, so I kind of want to wait on, you know, I'm going to lay Glimmer Post and then the Sergeant, so that way I can use the Expedition map if I want to. The reason for that is if it looks like he's going to be Cloud Post, I'll go get my other Cloud Post. But if I feel that he's going to be Blue-Red Storm, I definitely want to go get a Swamp next turn. except that I tapped my mana incorrectly, and I I did things backwards. Didn't was focusing too much on talking and not what I was actually doing, so that was my own mistake. Of course, he's post, so now I've totally blown that. Totally blown what I was going to do out of the water, because it would have been really great to have this guy active. I actually could have saved myself a mana, even though pretty sure this guy's going to get bolted. Nope, that's good. Well, you got magma sprayed, and then you got flame slashed. Yeah, so that was very unfortunate for me. Just playing the guys that way, but oops. This matchup might have gone a little bit differently. This will be Mole Drifter. Actually, I could have just tapped Cloud Post. Could have tapped Cloud Post for all of the... Well, let's make sure we're not tapping the wrong ones there. Choosing the wrong ones. The video I made yesterday, I ended up picking Glimmer Post when I wanted Cloud Post. Which obviously is a huge mistake. Yep. Oops. Oh. Yeah, this is already not looking good for me. It's going to be a flashback deep analysis next turn. Plus now he's going to have enough mana to pretty much do whatever he wants. 4 or 5. He's got 9 mana. That was to be expected. And even though he has 10 cards, the big thing is he gets to filter pretty much any of his dead draws. Oops. Or any cards, like if he has abundant land, he definitely wants to draw as many cards as possible. Just to sort of discard all those extra lands. He is dead, sir. Yeah, so I don't really know how I'm going to get victory here. Him having 7 cards and a lot of mana. This will be Mystical Teachings for Capsize. Yep. How many times can you do it twice yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He doesn't. Oh, he does have a double blue. Yep. So that's the game. Sort of screwed the pooch there on my 3rd turn. If I had sideboard cards, I'm not even sure what I'd probably have sided in. Maybe some Castigates, which is a black and a white. Look at target player's hand and exile a card from their hand from the game. Maybe the ninja guy. It's 3/2. You can ninjutsu him in. Anytime he deals combat damage to an opponent, they have to discard 2 cards. This is not a great hand either. Even though I have all my colors, I only have one searcher, which is probably going to be killed before I can get him online, which is obviously a problem. But sort of the thing is we have mana and spells, and can't really argue with mana and spells when you're just testing a deck. This will also give me good information if we decide to go the black-white version and we're playing against blue-red. Whether these types of hands are going to be keepable or not. I'm going to lay Defiant Falcon here in case he has Seismic Shutters in. It's just one less removal spell that I have to worry about. Granted, he already had Magma Spray. I'm not sure why people are playing Magma Spray. Maybe I'm I don't know why people want to remove creatures. Oh, I suppose it's for Aethomancer or the new M13 guy that's a 1/2. I guess if they're in a blue-black deck, I can get kind of annoying. And I'm just going to equip this guy. Attack. And maybe, well, no. Armor Scout's a little bit better in this situation in case I want to attack with him. I don't really think I want to attack with him. But if he doesn't get rid of Defiant Falcon, let's hope he doesn't have Arc Lightning or some other crazy thing that will ruin my day. It's kind of unfortunate that I had to give him more mana, but that is fine. I think this is also sort of one of the inherent problems with the Rebel Post deck, is that against blue-red Post, they're just going to be able to use the mana much more effectively, basically because their card draw is at that time. I definitely want to get another Searcher. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to get. Probably want to get Defiant Falcon. Of course we draw the other one. I'm actually going to attack here. And the reason for it is because I'm going to cast my other two rebels, just so that way I have just more rebels. And really, hopefully the only, well, mana leak will kind of suck, but did I completely tap my mana wrong there? I did. Not paying attention once again to my mana. I do apologize. It was sort of a long day at work, so my head isn't totally into the game here. And I'm just making just very simple mental errors. Well, that's either going to be good for me or bad for me. Unfortunately, I accelerate him, and we're running out of Searchers. Ooh, well that'll be fun. In this case, I'm just going to attack. will probably going to Earth Rift my other planes. Did I have the 1 mana to cast and pay for it? Alright, so that'll be, yeah, you know, I really do apologize. These games are not going very well for me. I'll try to refocus here. And so he's going to buy back Mystical Teachings. Kill off this Defiant. I wouldn't be all surprised if he actually Earth Rifted my planes. Yeah, I definitely feel that's a viable thing to do there. Especially seeing as how I am absolutely terrible at tapping my mana. And plus he'd actually like to use his Mystical Teachings to find another card draw spell and not have to... And he's not really under a whole lot of pressure. I mean, he's not like he's... I mean, he's still at 15. It's not like he's dying anytime soon. I assume I'd probably get Mystical Teachings. Mystical Teachings for Teachings. Mystical Teachings for Capsize. Or Magma Spray. I would have picked Capsize. It's like he can still go down to 12. And the thing is, he would have Capsize to either start capsizing with buyback my creature, or even just Prophetic Prism to just draw some cards here. Still no white mana. Yeah, so I definitely think the game would have gone a lot differently. Oh, and there's Capsize, so that'll be a good game. Yep. And then he's going to start bringing back Prisms, so he can sort of start drawing some extra cards per turn, especially with all the extra mana he has. That would be the route that I would take, at least. We have a planes, but he has Capsize with buyback, so just say good game again, and we'll move on to the next one. And I will try to pay attention to how I'm tapping my mana. Against an unknown deck, feel like this is a mulligan, but we will try it. Just because we're just so slow here. It's going to be like turn 4. And depending upon if we draw a land, I've been so off on my blue decks. So blue-red again. Let's go Sergeant, Equip, Terramorphic Expanse. It's a lot of preordains. So we're either up against Post again or Blue-Red Storm. I'm not quite sure which one yet. This is probably going to be Blue-Red Storm, just because he cast Lava Dart. And it's actually very good against Echoing Decay main deck. So basically we're going to need 2 Echoing Decays, which means I should have got a Swamp. Because now if we draw Echoing Decay, I was going to be very sad. And the reason why this is relevant is basically when he decides to go off and he decides to use Empty the Warrens, he can actually target the goblin that I'm going to target with Echoing Decay, kill him, and then basically fizzle Echoing Decay. So it looks like he's about to go off. There's not too many other reasons to cast Gixty Improbant. He's got Lightning Bolt. Maybe this is... I don't know. I'm thoroughly confused now. But we did get lucky. He didn't combo us off last turn. Hopefully he doesn't combo us off this turn. Maybe this is a Killing Fiend? It's the only other deck I can think of. Killing Fiend and Wee Dreadnoughts. They also do run Lava Darts, but that's mostly because you can just pump the hell out of your guy for one red in a mountain. It's got a lot of probes. Quite honestly, I don't like being probed. I don't know about the rest of you, but being probed does not feel good. You guys over 45 understand. And you guys that are under 20, you'll understand when you become 45. And no, I'm not 45. It's just what I hear on the television. It's kind of nice. I got 6 free points of damage in there. I guess he is a Storm. Strange that he's running Lightning Bolt. I don't feel that's the greatest card to be running in Storm. I have no idea what just happened there. Unless he's trying some sort of new modified version. That's the only thing that I can think of. Alright, I'm going to try one more game here. And then I think tomorrow I may try... kind of want to try the white-green Rebel Post deck. Just because it has a lot of fun, what I think are fun cards that you could add in. You get Crop Rotation, which is a little bit of an easier or faster, I guess, expedition map. Although the problem with it is that it does cost a green, which you're not really going to have in the early turns typically. Or our problem is we really want white and green both on the first turn if possible. And with our mana situation, that's actually not viable. Just because there is no, unfortunately, white-green land that you can play on the first turn. Because sometimes you like to be able to lay a Sergeant, or sometimes you may want a Crop Rotation depending upon what game you're playing against, or against, depending upon which type of opponent. Well, I'm hoping I can get one more game in here fairly quickly. I did change it, so the other thing is I think as far as Terramorphic Expanses go, I think that's actually going to be part of my base builds going forward. Just in the 2-color versions. Still not sold about Bone Splinters. I think I'm actually just going to take these out for right now in any sort of base version that I go with. I definitely see where they can be useful. Say if you're short on mana and suddenly you change aggro and you get a bunch of Bone Splinters, They allow you to do that. No, I still think, even though I do feel it's a control deck, I think it is correct to start playing Bone Splinters. And if I could spell it correctly, that would even be better. Bone Splitters. I keep calling them Splinters. Bone Splitters. Bone Splitters. Just sort of like the Wrathy Tappers. This is actually a good hand for us. As long as we don't die on the first couple turns. Quite a few blue decks today. I don't know if this is going to be fairies or if this is another storm deck, but definitely a lot of storm decks. Or storm decks, blue decks. I can't even think straight either today. Cloud of Fairies, Cloud of Fairies, Cloud of Fairies, Cloud of Fairies. Nope. I think I just lay Expedition Map and say go. And by that I meant maybe I should have just cast or played Plains. Definitely want to attack with your guy typically. Because if he would have had Spellstar Sprite, he probably would have cast him right there. Well, we're probably up against Storm again, so Expedition Map may actually go get Echoing a Swamp. Well, I'm gonna lay Cloud Post here. My opponent should be at 19. Should be at 18 now. Is it Pestromite? Wow. I don't even know what this is. This is maybe I am thoroughly confused. Oh, what do I want to get? I think I'm actually going to get Basilica. Maybe this is a new, like, blue-red Delver Fairies deck? It's kind of an interesting picture. I've actually never looked at that picture before. Definitely being a pester. So I have a feeling that I'm going to get attacked by Pestromite, and then a ninja is going to leap out at me. By ninja, I mean Ninja of the Deep Hours. That was fortunate. Hopefully he doesn't have another Pestromite. Wow. He just got forced. That just that completely blows my mind. Wish I had a flying blue pro blue rebel. Maybe that'll be in Ravinica. We're gonna go with the Defiant Falcon in case we decide we want to block. So maybe this is, I don't know. It's a test game. He's testing his deck, I'm testing my deck. Best thing I can think of is some sort of a Rug Delver deck. Why you have green, I don't know. Maybe he's got like Elvish Fury or Giant Growth. They seem like subpar cards, but who knows. Or maybe it's some sort of crazy threshold madness Delver concoction. Either way, it's interesting. I don't like Muldrifter. Muldrifter. I can say I was not expecting that at all. If anyone else was expecting that, you should definitely start playing some Pauper, because you would have to be psychic to figure that was coming. You know, I can't even Echoing Decay next turn because I decided to go with Glimmer Post instead of laying my Basilica. Probably should have laid the Rift Watcher instead. But I'm hoping he's going to lay another Pestermite. And thankfully I checked my mana this time, so I realized I could cast both. So let's see if I'm going to get Chandra's Fury. Is that what this card is? Let's see if I'm going to get Furied again. Furied it to the face. I have this horrible feeling that his next card is going to be Negate. And why do I think he's going to cast Negate? Because he cast Chandra's Fury. I might as well throw out some other crazy cards. Maybe it's going to be Rune Snag next. I can honestly, I just don't know. Now he's going to Ninja the Deep Hours? Just spoil my plans altogether? No? Tarmogoyf. Not... Sure. I do like Coiling Oracle. He's a very fun card to play with. What am I going to do here? I'm going to cast Glimmer Post, and then I'm going to Cry. Put Echoing Decay on that guy first. Oh, pay a Bone Splitter, or Splinter, depending upon how you want to look at it. And then, hopefully with only 3 cards, you won't be able to do too much. But maybe I'm going to get Chandra's Fury again. I have no idea what he's casting for 6 mana. That was my second guess. I can say I'm not even sure what guy I want to get. Kind of want to get some flyers just so I can start racing. But actually, I think I'm going to get the Tapper. Wrathy Tapper. Good old Wrathy Tapper. Wrathy Tapper. It's always a good sign when my opponent has to read the cards. Oh, I just draw my other one. How much mana do I have? 4, so I can get another Searcher actually next turn. No, not really, because I still need to use the Tapper. So I think I'm gonna get one of the flyers, probably the Pro Red guy. Don't mind losing the mana just because I still have plenty, still have enough to search with Sergeant, so, or Lieutenant. I don't know exactly, he must be higher on the chain, for those that know. I feel like this is a very old deck from a long time ago, when the environment was much slower. You got him. So now I'm not able to actually race. What do you think about this? Don't want to get in their swamp. I'm just gonna go get. No. Can't get the other Tapper because the other Tapper's in my hand. What I can get is, I'm gonna get Thermal Glider. Actually, you know what? I can get the Sergeant, and then I can actually search twice next turn. I'm actually kind of hoping I draw a land of some sort. Nope. I actually want to be able to search for this guy. So I'm going to take a big fat 4 here. It's kind of unfortunate actually. Tap you, sir. Tap you. Tappity tap. Just give it a little tap. Get in your own. My biggest concern is he still has 3 cards in his hand. This is just like a big deck, or go big or go home. That's what I was looking for. Go big or go home. I think I'm gonna be going home here pretty soon. Can't even search for my tapper, so that's not good. I can search for a blight speaker. Defiant Falcon. I think I am just going to try to race. And by try to race, I mean I'm just going to start pooping out as many flyers as I possibly can. Gosh, I really wish I could have searched for those guys. Well, let's see what he does this turn. I almost didn't tap Dirkwood Boar, which would have been horrendous. Would have thrown our math way off. I do have some concerns he may still have lightning bolts. I'm just gonna let's hope he doesn't lay another. Well, even if he lays a mountain and tries to double bolt me, I still live, thankfully. Although, if he says go, oh, lacerated arrows for me. Just kick me right square in the nuts. Well, so he's bluffing lightning bolt, basically. Oh, that's lovely. Muldrifter. So he's not bluffing it, he's just hoping he draws it. That is unfortunate, because now I'd really like one of the blight speakers out. The reason why I got the Rift Watcher this turn is because I want to make sure that I can block the Wicker Burr Elder without any card loss. I'd actually like to draw land. Land, please. That's a good one. I'm gonna lay the other tapper now. Afraid I'm gonna get Chandra's Fury to the face still. 1 damage to each creature. I gotta mind getting all the Defiant Falcons out then. Chandra's Fury to the face. Nope, another Muldrifter, looks like. Strangely, we have all this blue. I gotta know what other green cards he's gonna cast besides Coin Oracle, especially for 3 mana. but I will know soon enough. Yeah, that's fine. Let's choose the right one. There we go. Well, he's not packing lightning bolts, which seems strange to pack Chandra's Fury, but no lightning bolts. I'm going to cast this other Blight Speaker, though. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see what we draw here first. Draw planes. Lanes are good for us. Actually, I think I'm just going to cast this guy. And say go. Maybe he's going to cast Incinerate? I don't know. There's not too many green-red spells he's going to cast. Blasted Arm. Well, it's a good thing we have just a streamless supply of 1/1 guys. Although, I think our stream is starting to dry up. Now that he can't Chandra Furies me out of the game. It seems really odd. But A-okay. Not Ninja now. Ninja makes me sad. Not that sad, but Because unless I'm mistaken, I should still win this race unless I get Chandra Furied out the door. I don't know how well Bone Splitter and Elastoderm work together, but I'm gonna guess not too well. Longest single game that I have ever played. Yeah, I don't know if he's just starting to realize that, oh crap, shit just got real. Anything but Changer's Fury. Anything but Changer's Fury. It's like a super secret tech card right here. 5 mana. 4 to the face. One-sided Wrath. Alright, well, the black-white version I feel is pretty good. Not exactly sure how great it'll be against the other ones, but somebody did ask me for some deck lists, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you the deck lists here at the end. I'm going to search by converted mana cost, or I'm sorry, sort by converted mana cost. And again, these are just test deck lists. Definitely would not take them in a 2-man queue or a daily, strictly for fun at this point, till I feel that we can get one that's passable in a competitive environment. And the people that have been asking for deck lists, I'm not sure if you're visual people as far as looking at the actual cards, or for me, I'm normally definitely a just a sort of list type guy where I can just see exactly the numbers that I have, look at my mana costs very easily, and see how many of each card that I have in my deck. So, well, next time, like I said, I think I'm going to try a white-green version, maybe white-red, not sure yet. I haven't given really a whole lot of thought about which version I want to test next, but since the white-red version is sort of already out there, I kind of want to test white-green just to see what it has to offer. So, until next time.